Welcome, race fans, to race number 13 in the NAVSCAR Pro Series, last race of round 1 of the season. Coming to you from Charlotte Motor Speedway for 300 miles, 200 laps for our Honor Our Heroes 300, presented by Dumper's Speed Shop. I'm joined in the booth today with Jamie Christensen. How's it going, Jamie?
Hey, not too bad. Excited to be here. You know, Charlotte's one of those favorite tracks of the drivers, and I think they're all excited to be here. You know, I'm hoping that the cooler temperatures this evening is going to provide some real good racing, but it's been proven to be a little bit slicker than what we thought it would be. But we'll see how it plays out. But other than that, yeah, I'm excited for a good race.
Hey, under the lights, man. I think it's the first time this season where we actually ran completely under the lights, and I'm excited to see these guys roll out here. It is a long, grueling race for us, probably the longest race this year for us. Hopefully these guys can get there at the end.
Yeah, I would agree. You know, these guys are really trying to get them squared away, get a win, and or at least position themselves a little bit better in the point standing as we close this first segment out. So I think that's going to be on the minds of a lot of people, but I also think there's going to be, you know, some teams that didn't necessarily have the time maybe out on the track that they wanted to get, and that's going to prove to be interesting, you know, because what we've seen in the past, Mike, is, you know, we've seen some guys qualify real well, you know, but it's a lot different when you're in a pack versus when going around this place by yourself. So I think that's gonna make it interesting. I think the other part that's gonna make this interesting is when you start putting these cars in a draft, it's a whole different story because you're carrying a whole lot more speed going into the corners, and then we're gonna see if these guys can back it up quick enough to make that turn. Otherwise, we're going to see some guys pushing up or even getting that car sideways going into the corner.
Yeah, I think, you know, Charlotte's a really high speed course where you're really loose off of four, specifically when you get that elevation change. Guys running in the pack have to be aware of that. You know, it just takes a little tiny bump, not even a bump sometimes, on that rear quarter panel to send somebody around.
Yeah, definitely. It's you know, but it also might work to somebody's advantage where they know that that's the case, and they, you know, if it's later on in the race, they might put that front end of the car a little bit closer on there, take some air off, and be able to make a move.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think late in the race it could definitely come into play. So we're racing our, the first race in our Dash for Cash series. It's 5 races this season, where we're going to take the point standings and add them all up, and the driver with the best point standing is going to walk away with $50. We've got second place $20, third place $10, and a $20 bonus for the safest drivers. So really interesting. We got this running presented by Dumper Speed Shop. I like seeing this kind of series within a series. And being the Honor Our Heroes 300 tonight, we've got a paint scheme contest as well. We'll be, throughout the race, we're going to show up some paints and get some feedback from some of our viewers, and after the race, we're going to the booth guys are going to decide, and we're going to tally some votes and maybe put it up on Facebook for our friends to decide. $10 is going to go to the best paint scheme tonight.
Nice. And you know, a lot of guys were really excited about that. Got some some guys that are really good in the paint shop, so to speak, and they usually bring their best stuff. So yeah, I'm excited to see how that turns out.
Yeah, definitely some interesting stuff here tonight. I love seeing the the patriotic themes, and yeah, we'll get to showcase some of those before the end of the race here. We got 5 minutes left in qualifying. Looks like we got a lot of takers not actually coming out on the track. Looks like I've only seen 13 cars so far put up a time. That's
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think some of them are waiting to see what kind of laps that other drivers are putting down, and some of them, you know, just want to be in that rear of the field. I think there was some talk in the garage and this week, kind of where you wanted to be, and I think, like it always is you either want to be up front or you want to be towards the back. I'm not really sure anybody wants to be in that middle because it gets pretty stormy in there from time to time.
Here's the thing, though: if you're sitting on pit road and you're like, I got this great idea, I'm not going to put down a qualifying lap, and you look at the times and half the field has the same idea as you, do you eventually be like, well, maybe I should go out because I might end up starting in mid-pack anyways?
Yeah, I mean, sure, there's going to be a handful of drivers that are thinking that, and then you're right. I mean, it could definitely play into it. And, I think I think maybe some drivers may have it in their mind that if they were to go ahead and do that and then find themselves closer up to the front, but not be able to have the car or the uh, familiarity or well, let's be honest, the skill set to be up front, that could be devastating for the rest of them too. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I don't think there's a right answer, but there's definitely plenty of ways this could go.
About 3 minutes 30 seconds left right now. Uh, Jason Wells has got the pole with a 27.724. Second place is Calvin Allison with a 27.746. So just 200ths of a second separating those two cars. Calvin is still on the track, looking to better his time right here. That's a nice paint job there by Calvin. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, I gotta check that out real quick. I was honestly just making sure that we got some stats here in the booth working right. So, but yeah, let me check it out here.
Yeah, we'll get to him later in the race. Make sure we got stats for the race. That's definitely a good thing to have.
Sorry, I was able to take a peek at that car. That's always an interesting paint scheme uh, coming out of the hooligan paint shop. Um, Gotta like that America.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Bunch of hooligans over in that hooligan shop.
I agree with that. Still trying to improve his time. His last lap, he's only ran a 28.3, so he's not close there. As the 15 gets loose and into the wall, kills his engine, that's going to bring his qualifying session here to an end. Right now, he's holding on to 6th spot. William Long still on track in 7th place right now. Another great paint scheme from him. He's running the, I believe, the Air Force scheme. I like that one. Looks really good.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate of that, being prior Air Force myself. So yeah, shout out to him. I know he was as well. So
Air Force and Buffalo Wild Wings. You can't go wrong.
yeah, yeah, that's the nation's defense is resting on Buffalo Wild Wings.
So, you looking forward to crowning a round one champion, so to speak? It won't be the main season champion, but we'll have a logo, and they'll get crowned a champion for that first round, first 13 races.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's one of those things. It kind of reminds me of that All Star race a little bit. I mean, he's, the driver tonight's going to be that segment one driver winner. It's going to get some maybe some respect around the garage and some recognition that maybe they didn't have before. So I think it's good all around. Plus, I think it's just a really good segue. If you're running in that top 10, top 16. And I know, people are like, top 16, what's that all about? But, those guys are, they're 16th while it's up there. They're still very competitive, and the points are actually pretty close in that. And so, while you might be 16th, you might only be like 30 points out or something like that. So, I'm real excited about it. I think it's a perfect segue into next season, and I think it's just going to provide even more competition going forward.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think knowing where you're at the end of the season one is going to help you for round two, so to speak. We did add a new graphic to the ticker there that you can see outside looking in. That means they're within 4 points. That's the top 20. So if they got a red bar saying they're outside, that means they're within contention. They're right there. Just a couple good races, they're going to be up into that top 16.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest with you, these guys have been driving with each other now for quite some time. We finished a full segment here. I think people are getting used to each other's driving styles. Um, I think they understand the other driver's capabilities. Whether it's a short track, super speedway, road course, whatever the case might be. I think they're gonna get an idea of who they're racing and how they got to race that person. And I'm hoping to see that be seen a little bit more evident here tonight
Well,
as we get around the track.
these guys are just about to create grid up. Let's take a look at the Battle of the Booth. real quick. Right now, it's pretty close, man. Last race of the Battle of the Booth, we did not pick racers last week, so that was an NA for all of us. But Dustin's out ahead just barely. Let's go ahead and make some picks. I believe you get to pick first. No, I get to pick first. Ooh, I'm going to go with DJ Anderson. He did grab the pole, I believe, if not close to the pole. Or I was seeing him practice. He was pretty good all practice. So I'm going to go with the 951 of DJ Anderson.
All right. Guy's always there. He's always finds himself up in the top 10. I'm going to go with the 7, Nelson Rivera.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. And actually, I left out Dustin. He picked second today, and he did pick Calvin Allison. Looking to see good results out of him tonight. Always a safe pick with Calvin.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the only thing that could get in the way of Calvin is Calvin.
Or Donald Trump.
Or if he finds himself back in the pack, or in lap traffic.
All right,
let's keep going with the order.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go through the grid here. First row, we got Jason Wells, Calvin Allison second. That's that pole position row. Mike Abbott and Keith Haney second row. Row number 3, we've got Corey Wharton in the 999 and the 951 of DJ Anderson. Row number 4, we've got Jay Adair and John Fershing Jr. Row number 5, William Long and Nelson Rivera. Row number 6, James Haney and Timothy Lewis. Row number 7, we have Brian Wynn and Jack Walls. Row number 8, Jeff Sharp and Mark Bratcher. Row number 9, Scott Kidd and Sean Butler. Didn't put down a qualifying time. Sean Butler is the first car. James Skelton in the 86 and the 929, Thomas Keane, also no qualifying times. Trent Potter in the 18, 917 of David Howard. Joshua Buckley in the 2, Jordan Beck in the 4, Dale Albright in the 26, 59, Bruce Potter. Raymond Edge, Daniel Haney, Tommy Amasi, Kevin J. O'Brien, rounding out the rest of the field. So quite a bit of cars there did not put down time, so we'll see how these guys do from the back.
Should be interesting. Now we've seen out of the 946 out of Mark Bratcher, we've seen a fairly decent time. He was had the second to last fastest lap there in qualifying for those that did. But I know he's been pretty excited to get back into the car. And I'm curious, Mike, you think he's on Facebook Live right now broadcasting from the car?
If he is, I hope he's wearing his seatbelt. His mom's going to get mad at him.
I hear you.
Definitely like seeing that Facebook videos from all of our drivers. They're fun to watch, that's for sure. Hopefully Mark gets the shout out there.
Get some tunes blazing.
Yeah. Hey man, you never know. You put on a Chewbacca mask and you get 20 million people or whatever. How many people she got? I think it's like 180 million, but whatever.
Quite possibly the dumbest video I've ever seen in my life.
But you watched it multiple times.
No, I did not.
No, you didn't.
No, I have not watched that.
All right, here we go. Green flag. 964 gets a bit of a good start there on the inside. Calvin Allison's going to run on the outside, try and make it work here.
Yeah, definitely got the JCR teammate up there running third right now. Mike Abbott looking fast. So I know these guys up front, they want to break away. I don't think they want to sit around in traffic a whole lot. And I think they want to be able to get up there and keep moving. But
yeah, got to be careful on those entries. 82 gets it real hot into the corner there. Almost puts a bumper on the 28 of Calvin Allison, but backs it off. It looks like these guys are going to get in line pretty quickly here. I think you're right. I think guys want to get single file and really not want to kind of worry about the people around them. Try and turn off some quick laps.
Yeah, some guys thinking about too wide, and then they think twice about it. I mean, you can probably do that for the first lap or two. You're not going to be doing that in lap 5. Real interesting. Got some real close traffic there between the 82 and the... can't see the car behind him there for a second.
Yeah, it looks like everyone almost through the field has gotten in line there. We got a couple good battles going on. Right now, number in 10th position, Nelson Rivera is going to go underneath the 11 of William Long, trying to make that low line work. I think it's easy. You got fresh tires right now. That car can stick onto the bottom exiting 4, but as we start to wear those tires down, it's going to be a lot harder to keep that car moving forward on the bottom line exiting 4.
Yeah, and I think there's some mind games that are going on there a little bit too, because all you really got to do, and we've seen this a couple times, is you run the guy in front of you a little bit harder than what they're expecting, and they're kind of expecting you to run hard, and in the corner you just back it up. They kind of go in there, drift up a little bit, and you're able to utilize that low line and get underneath them and make the pass. But yeah, there's all kinds of different strategies going on here tonight.
Yeah, that's the one thing I like about Charlotte is that high line allows you to get a real nice run off the backstretch. If you've got no car in front of you, you can really make that high line work and kind of defend that inside run. But I think there's a bunch of different lines available for passing. Because we've got a car in the wall.
951 in the grass.
Oh, that's not going to be good.
Looks like we stay green.
We do stay green. He puts it through the grass, keeps it down, and he's on the shoulder. It doesn't look like there's a ton of damage. Just kind of on the inside there in the wrong place at the wrong time. Hopefully he can get back up to speed. Being my pick, I'd like to see him keep it on the main lap here.
Yeah, and I didn't even pick him. Don't worry, there's plenty of race left, I'm sure.
Oh, there is. Jason Wells in that 946 car, man, out front right now. He's got almost a full second gap to that second place of Calvin Allison. He's really using those new tires.
He is, but I have a theory behind that.
And?
My theory is that there was a lot of discussion. I feel like Michael Waltrip going around the garage talking to people, different setups, that kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
Right? And some people...
Oh, Haney's in the wall. It'll be interrupt there. Haney can't keep it straight. Guys are just avoiding him here. I don't know why. Did a caution come out?
No caution.
I don't know how there's no caution.
Well, sometimes that's how it works out, I mean, maybe it wasn't enough there for the officials to call that yellow. But...
Wow, he does a good job keeping it on the track and barely off the wall, but does end up bouncing a couple times. It almost saved it. The car got loose. Looked like there was a car on the underneath him, but no contact, I don't think. Just the arrow loose. And man, surprised there was no caution. Everyone did a pretty good job of avoiding him there. Look to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. And who's happy to see that is our leaders. First through fifth place, they're like, no, let's keep this thing green.
Yeah, for sure. Going. So what was your theory? Let me hear this theory.
Oh, so walking around in the garage, talking to a lot of the drivers, and, they're trying to find that sweet spot in that steering ratio to offset. And so a lot of guys are of the mindset that if you run a 12-1 or you run a 10, and I think that may even be a little bit on the aggressive side, that sure, you're going to be fast for the first few, 10 laps, and then your tires are going to fade. I know personally with the JCR guys, we watched a lot of the tire wear over practice over the last week, and we've seen them fall off. And where we didn't see them fall off is really in that 16-1 area, and that kind of makes sense. That you're not as hard on the wheel. And but we did see better tire wear out of this, and on long runs like this, it's going to come into play.
I actually agree with you 100%. I think guys are, let's be honest here. We expect a caution. I would have expected caution by now. So I think guys actually, think that they can run these tires hard and come down and get new tires. But if we get that green flag stint, man, these guys are going to find themselves with nothing left. And the guys that did manage their tires are gonna just find speed all of a sudden. As we see there, the 929 just put a bumper on the 14, gets the 14 hard into the corner, and is able to pass him on the inside there.
And you know what, Mike? I think because tonight is that last race in this segment, we're going to see somebody take two tires right out of the gate and try to, either increase their position and hoping a caution comes out and they're in a good spot, or they're just going to go with 2. I know they are.
I want to remind our viewers that there are a bunch of paint schemes there that we want to show you here tonight. If you get a paint scheme that you like, take the number down and let us know on Facebook after the race when we put them all up. Give it your vote, and you guys can be a part of the voting process. I'll do my best to show them all here tonight. That's the 929 of Keen here in his patriotic scheme. I really like it.
America. Sorry, I just keep seeing the 28 and it keeps rolling off the tongue.
You know, it's a holiday. Remember our heroes. They could be Canadian too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And remember being
or British. Oh, actually,
Oh, yeah.
Australian, I guess.
I was going to say, yeah, because it's one of those things. I mean, I know I've been in theater and Canadian, Australian, British. Yeah, it's a lot of countries there in the Allies.
Yeah, man. Everyone is patriotic in a time like this. You know, I think America is probably the most patriotic. You guys are really proud people, and I like seeing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, looks like taking a look at Nelson. He's kind of waiting to keep moving through the field. What do you think? In
Yeah,
that 7.
He's definitely on the bumper. That 15 car and the 999. He's looking to get underneath both these guys, but getting held up here.
Yeah,
Well-
but you know that's patience. I think he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah, but on the outside there, that I believe that's the 919 of Sean Butler. Might use that opportunity to get around the 7 here. He's gonna try anyways.
Is Butler running a different number this week?
He normally runs the 919, does he not?
Oh, I thought the 999 was outside of him. Sorry.
Sorry, yeah, no, the 999 was outside of him at the time, outside of the 7 when I said it, but now he's going on the inside.
Yeah. You know me, about this time in the race, I'm usually confused a little bit and had a couple drinks. So.
Yeah, right. I gotta catch up to you. Looking at that 919 Nationwide Dale Jr. Paint scheme, very patriotic on that one. Like seeing the NAVSCAR logo on the back, looks really good there. Supporting both things there. I like it.
Well, it's kind of interesting, Mike. You know, you're a painter. You're able to, put these things in the booth, make them come out look twice as good as they did when they went in. But, just looking at Sean Butler's paint scheme, that paint has only been announced for what? Maybe 5 days? 4 days? I mean, where Junior announced that paint scheme that he would be running.
Yeah, it's
and
funny.
Somebody's already got it out there.
Oh, 82 gets into the back of the 15. I think there's a common theme amongst painters is when there's an announcement on a paint scheme, everyone does their best to get it up on Trading Paints first because it's popular, and if you get it up there first, that means you get a lot of likes, you get a lot of recognition, and you'll see it on the track a lot more. I used to be that way too.
Oh yeah, yeah, and and then you can always see who's driving it, and who's, everybody wants to have the most drivers driving their paint scheme. So absolutely.
Yeah, and everyone puts their touch on it. You got to put your logo on there, and you like seeing that out on the track. Well, we missed it. Calvin Allison has taken the lead. He's a half a second over Jason Wells. Maybe Jason he is turning slower times by about 0.4 of a second over the leader. I think it's about that time right now. Tires are going to start to fall off.
Yeah, and to be quite honest with you, the 919 of Sean Butler just went around the 82 and the 15, and they didn't. Neither one of them really put up a fight. I mean, they just obviously had a faster car there, and where I think they're losing a little bit, to be quite honest with you, is in the corners here.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. I think you kind of, with that tire where it's harder to maintain that corner speed, you got to kind of get off of it a little bit earlier and get on it a little bit later. So he's just slower through the corners. But point out that the 919 was the first car that did not put a qualifying time down. And he's running the fastest laps on the track right now. And it looks like he doesn't have the fastest time of the race, but he's definitely being consistent right now, up to 3rd place.
Yeah, and the 7 is actually just right behind him, and looking at the inside of Frisching there. going into the corner. Nelson Rivera is also another one on his way up there through the pack.
Thomas Keane right now running Corey Wharton on this corner panel, trying to make that pass on the inside. I think this is where we're going to start to see that outside line become a little bit more of a defensive line. As you can see, the 999 has got 4 cars lined up beside him, and I think it's one thing to get to a guy, but it's hard to make that pass here.
Oh yeah, it's well, it's how much patience do you have? How much do you want them to be kind to you when you get a little bit later on in the race? So yeah, it gets a little bit interesting, but we're already starting to see some cars way high on the wall in the corners. So the tires are getting out. These guys got to be getting close to a pit stop.
I don't know where we are on a pit window, but I guarantee you these guys want tires. I don't think we're anywhere close yet. I think we're probably not even... maybe we're about halfway on a pit run. Maybe. Tires are going to really start coming into play here soon.
Yeah, I would agree. And and these guys, they just continue to keep backing up that corner, trying to get a better angle, or get the car to turn in the corner. So
right now running on board with the 11 of William Long, who's on the inside of that 999 car trying to make that pass. Ooh, a little bit of a door slam there.
we got some pretty good competition there going with your pick of the 951 and the 933 of Jay Adair, as well as Jordan Beck. These guys are really kind of in that 10.5 to 11.5 second range, and they're trying to make their way up through the pack, and maybe get the car in for a quick pit stop here, and get some new tires on and get back out there and maybe make another run at it. But they're also the group that's probably going to want a caution probably more than anybody, because they're falling back, and if they continue at this pace, they're going to just keep going backwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm really happy, though, to see that 951 recover and get it back up to 13th position with that earlier incident. I'm sure you're right. He definitely wants to come in and maybe get some repair done. Looks like that front end is a little bit crinkled, but not too bad. His paint scheme's looking mighty nice today. He's running the M&M patriotic scheme there. Looks really good, that red, white, and blue.
Make Kyle Busch proud.
Joshua Buckley right now on the inside of the 999 makes that pass work. That gap up at front is not increasing. Calvin Allison is just about a quarter second ahead of Jason Wells. I think maybe Jason backed it out, knew that he was running it a bit hard. Maybe we got to set it down a level and just maintain the lead pace here. With 31 laps in, I don't think any of us would have expected it to go green this 31 laps, and I think it's going to start becoming a handful for a couple of these guys here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got cars on pit road. The 951 DJ Anderson, he's in getting some tires changed. So, I think this is just the start. We're going to start seeing him come in and get 4 fresh ones and get out of there. So.
A lot of cars right now, 5th through about 12th, battling for position here.
Yeah, I'm taking a look. I wanted to see who was the car the first lap down. DJ Anderson. It was Scott Kidd, but DJ Anderson is now the first car lap down. It's kind of fluctuating as we're, got cars going in and out. But it does, I guess Scott Kidd is back being that first car lap down. So Scott could really take advantage of this if we get a caution here.
Yeah, I think a couple guys probably, you are going to be put down a lap by pitting, but I think some of these guys have probably put the pit windows together, know that they can come in here soon and get some tires. I think you're going to see these lap times from guys with tires. Like right now, DJ Anderson came off, and he's running times about as quick, if not a little bit quicker than the leader. Kelvin is back in first place, and he's still running pretty quick here. Actually, I was gonna say, sorry, he's about a second and a half quicker than the leader on those new tires. I was looking at the wrong time.
Yeah, these guys are really kind of starting to bunch up now as, they're starting to cycle through. But, looking at Josh Buckley and Will Long and Mike Abbott gets into Will Long spinning. Gets into the two of Josh Buckley and Mike Abbott. They're all into the wall, so caution's out. Yeah, I think that was just a matter of Will Long not going as fast as Mike in the corner there, and I think just not intentional. I think Mike just kind of got into the back of him. I wasn't expecting him to check up that much.
Let's go ahead and ride on board with Will Long. Listen to that throttle control through the corner. Maybe he got real tight and had to get off the throttle here.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I just think I don't think the 82 was expecting him to check up as much as he did.
Yeah, he was maintaining his tires. I don't know if we'll go ahead and ride on board with the 82. Trying to make a pass on the outside. Decides, changes the line, goes down. Yeah. That one's unfortunate.
Yeah, but I wonder, we were just talking about him. I'm assuming that Scott Kidd's going to be the lucky dog. I believe he is.
That's good to see him take advantage there. He should be able to come in, get a fresh set of tires.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, that is another Dale Earnhardt Jr. paint scheme. I think that's that Valvoline paint scheme he ran a while back.
Let me see if I can find it here. Oh, I'm only seeing his generic paint scheme, unfortunately.
Okay. So he'll come around, and as a result, he'll probably, I believe the leaders have already gone in, or the guys on the lead lap have already gone in for their pit stop. And so that should be allowing him to come in for his, and then he'll be at the end of the lead lap. Is that a correct statement?
I believe you are correct.
Excellent. Well, check that off the list today.
Yeah.
Got one thing done.
Let's take a look. It's sitting in the pits, but the 26 of Dale Albright. He's got that nice paint scheme. Probably one of the prettiest paint schemes I've seen on the track tonight. That Budweiser American, really nice. Or I guess it's not Budweiser. It looked like Budweiser.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering. It's a great looking paint scheme of the car. I just know he's been there for about 30 laps.
Yeah, I don't know if he wasn't. The car looks good, so I don't know why he's sitting there, but
maybe he's got a plan. It's a plan to come out at the very last lap of the race and really influence the outcome of this bad boy.
Got to save your stuff for when it matters.
199 laps later. It's the last one that counts.
Right.
Well, Mike, it's one of those things that cautions breed cautions, so not to jinx it or anything, because I never do that. But I am curious to see how they react when they get it close together again. And I also noticed that the 977 didn't get that damage repaired, so didn't feel it was worth a quick repair this early in the race. I think the long run, like you were talking about, actually kind of maybe got into some of these drivers' head and said, hey, well, maybe I need to plan this out a little bit differently.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage on that right side of that car, though, man. I don't know if he's going to be able to maintain quick speed or not. He might want to come in and get him hammered out a little bit more, but you're right. We're lap 39. Guys don't want to use their quick repair if they don't have to. That brings us to, this being the last race of this season. Starting next season, we're going to no quick repair format, so maybe he's just practicing.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of cool. I think it's going to bring out a whole new dynamic. To
Oh,
be
I
quite
agree.
honest with you.
100%. I definitely think it will. Whether, all these guys enjoy that dynamic or not, we'll see. Lights are off on the pace car. We're going to be going back to green this time by take lap 40. Back to green here.
I also noticed that you got the 919, you got the 28 on the front row here. I'm kind of curious who's going to really have that Kyle Busch start, get the restart that they're looking for.
Yeah, that's another thing that'll be changing for next season is the restart procedures. Right now you can see the 28 is not going. He's waiting for the green flag. Green flag is out, and he's back to green. Next season, the leader will control the field, and we'll be able to go after the pace car comes in.
I think that's worked out real well in what we've seen in the truck series.
Yeah, I
So,
agree. I think it has 100%. The guys get spread out. It makes those restarts a little bit less hairy, but I'm looking forward to bringing that into this series.
Speaking of Harry, I got Harry there coming out too as we had somebody running the infield there. Not wrecking, just got pushed down. So yeah, I think Kelvin's going to want to stretch this one out, and the 919 is.
Still there?
Yeah, yeah. I heard some radio traffic there that I had to stop. But yeah, sorry, the 919 was trying to get there in that second position, but I think he's content just being where he's at as long as he can maintain. He's sitting in third, and I think he's shown that on a long run he's got a better car than some of these guys that have burned their stuff up early.
I think you're absolutely right. I think it's early. It's lap 42. I'd be happy, seeing the leader. Worry about strategy as we get down to it, but as long as you can keep him in your sights, especially with the way that the tires fall off, and if you can maintain your stuff, I think you'll make up all your speed at the end of the run here.
That we haven't talked about a whole lot tonight, normally because I'm not allowed to, but I'm going to do it anyway, is David Howard Jr. I noticed he's running a new paint scheme back there as well. I believe it's that Ricky Stenhouse Sunny D paint scheme, but he's definitely got his hands full back there. It seems to be pretty heated up back in third, fourth, and fifth, right?
Is it? Oh, no, it gets loose. Wow, that was a nice save there. Good little tap, let you know I'm here. I think we've seen that coming and going from the 999. Good save, though. And 917 did a great job checking up there, no doubt.
I'll quit talking about him.
Yeah, right? We put him on camera, and it's almost race over.
Yeah, hopefully he'll enjoy that when he watches the broadcast.
Some good racing going on the back of the pack here with, 11th through about 16th. Big gaggle of cars, so to speak, too wide. That 4 of Jordan Beck is another paint scheme looking real good. Look at that one there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Another hooligan guy. And close to him there is Raymond Edge. So Raymond doing real good. I mean, I think it's one of those things that you see a lot of cars that are probably equal in strength in that area, and it's just going to be who can get this figured out a little bit quicker than the guy that's next to him and start moving up the field.
When do you, if you're saving onto your stuff during a run, when do you decide it's time to go?
Not until the last 10 laps.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I hear you, and I get the question that you're asking. I just, it to me, and I think this is where kind of like Mark Martin was a good driver and had a good mindset, shoulder on his head about it. It's like, I'm not going to race you for a position when I'm not burning my stuff up right now. I'm going to do it when it counts. And if you're faster, I'm going to let you go. And I'm just going to try to race the track. I think, hopefully some of these guys are taking that into perspective as they're driving around here. But, you're not going to you're not going to last very long if you try to burn your stuff up here. You got to be in conserve mode, and and hopefully they've actually set up their vehicles in a manner that's going to give them the opportunity to do that. So
Just looking in the back of the pack right now, we're looking at 933 of Jay Adair, running in 15th position. Another great car, looking pretty hot on the front of that car. Thank you, troops. I like it.
yep, definitely some good paint schemes out there tonight. That's for sure.
I love seeing the creativity. We're going to do a couple of these races throughout the season. We're going to do a throwback race at Darlington. That one should be a lot of fun, I think.
Well, Darlington's always a great track. Lady in Black likes to eat some cars. I don't know as much as the Monster at Dover, but yeah, always a great track, and always a great track to bring some great paint schemes back around. So
Another good battle going on in the 11th position. Trent Potter's ended this line, looking trying to make some moves here as well. We're driving that 18 car, that another nationwide paint scheme. Taking a look at it, we got two cars right here, 929 and the 18, both set up patriotic. We've seen that 929 earlier in the broadcast, but that 18 looking pretty good. Another nationwide car. I don't remember when he ran this one, but yeah, looks good as well.
yeah, I was just looking. It was throwing me off, honestly, with the 18 of Trent Potter there. I wasn't sure that he started out with that number, was he? Or had he?
I believe he did. You might be thinking Bruce Potter.
Yeah, I can't keep them straight, but
Too many Potters, man.
oh, as long as we don't have a Harry Potter.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, give it time. Give it
Ooh,
time.
18 gets a little wiggle there, but does keep it together. Just drifts up the track.
You know, a guy we haven't talked about a whole lot, it's been Kevin O'Brien in that 94. He's our driver from down under. He's currently 7 laps down, but, caution's out, caution's out.
Ooh, we got a
983
car
on the
on
back
his
stretch.
roof.
946.
Let's see if we can take a look at the 983 of Jack Walls. Oh, Mark Bratcher.
Mark Bratcher, yep.
Let's see what happens here. Mark Bratcher gets real high. Oh, he just gets... Oh, I don't know what that was.
Well, I'm hearing some radio communication saying that I believe Mark was attempting to pit.
Coming off of 2?
Well, I think he was announcing it and was trying to put himself in a position to run that low line along the backstretch, and I think he was thinking somebody was going to go high. So, and you've stressed it. I know, and the other admins have stressed it too. The importance of, calling out. I mean, this isn't like regular NASCAR where you get your hand in the window, or out the window, or in the car pointing, cars outside of you as you're going into pit road. So, it's real important that these guys are vocal in the sim racing to be able to give the drivers around them a heads up as to what they want them to do, or what they're going to do, and what they want them to do to get around them.
Yeah, we talked about that in the truck series this race, or this week. Calling out, man. You got to call out. You got to be vocal. Sometimes that text box isn't enough. Guys aren't paying attention to it. But you got to let them know, hey, I'm coming in. Communication. We saw, guys checking up to come in during the trucks and getting run into and spinning them out. Yeah, you don't want to see that. You're coming in to get fresh tires and you end up on your roof, and that's going to end your night.
Yep, pretty quick. And I just looking here, I believe Tim Lewis is going to be that first car lap down, so he might be able to take advantage of it and get his lap back here.
Yeah, I do have him listed first car lap down as well. So you think everyone's coming in, or I guess we were probably looking at replays. I don't know if people already came in. It looks like we did. First through First through about 15th did come in. No two-tire stops. Looks like everyone, has a preference of 4 here tonight.
Yeah, not only that, but then, sorry, I'll only touch on it for a second, but the next car, a couple laps down there is Mike Abbott. He went down, I believe, 4. He's currently showing 3 laps down, but I'm kind of wondering if he didn't have the crew work on that car as opposed to use a quick repair, thinking that because tonight's race is definitely a longer one, we got 200 laps tonight, that he just was going to play the caution game and try to get back on the lead lap the hard way.
Yeah, you never know. We'll see a bunch of different strategies, especially when it comes to damaged cars. Under this caution, we're just taking a quick look at the 15 of John Frisching Jr. Another great paint scheme on that car. Got the American flag on the front. Good looking to see it. If you're watching the race and you see a car you like, jot down that number. We'll put them up hopefully tomorrow on Facebook, and you guys can tag us. Let us know which ones you like the best. If we don't get them up there, just let us know on NAVSCAR. Just hit us the number, the car number that you like to see, or even comment on the YouTube video once it goes up, and we'll take your vote into account.
Yeah, and with that said, I just want to give a quick update. Looks like, Mark Bratcher was involved in that incident. He looks like he's brought that car back into the garage and retired it for the evening. So I think it's going to be interesting. And this has nothing to do with Mark Bratcher. I'm just saying, a driver that gets into an incident in this new format, it's the real deal. So you get the car busted up, too bad. You're done. I mean, there's.
Oh, I was gonna say, he was a bunch of laps down. I don't know if he was lapped down at the time of incident, but I believe he was. So, yeah, you're right. You gotta take care of your stuff.
Well, not only that, even if you take care of it, but you're involved in another incident, I mean, you're done. I mean, you might get to the point where you go in and we're hoping that the crew can work on it, only to find out that it's an hour repair, or you might as well just hang it up. So I think it's definitely gonna change the dynamic. I'm really excited about it.
All right, we're gonna go back to green. Pace car is in.
I don't want to be the recipient of it though.
No, but it's going to happen to everybody at some point.
Absolutely. And inside line checks up. Mike Abbott into the back of the 2 of Josh Buckley on the restart there. That made for some interesting starting out.
Yeah, top bunch of cars are still pretty much too wide there. They're not jumping into line as they were earlier in the race.
Yeah, so how long do you think that's going to work out?
Well, we're lap 58. I think these guys will get sorted out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One way or the other. Why that 917 running that low line, he's got to back up those corners a little bit so he doesn't drift out into those cars. Looks like Calvin actually gets a little bit wide there.
Yeah, 999 puts that pass on like he was standing still, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, Calvin just got a little bit high up in the marbles there, but I think it was just like, hey, let him go right now. I'm going to save my stuff. Or actually, I might be just checking out what these other drivers got.
Hey, man, if anybody knows Calvin, he's seeing all this going on in his rearview mirror. He's like, hey, man, that looks like fun. I'm going to join that little group. 951 is getting stuck behind the 917. They're thinking about going 3 wide here. They think better of it. That's good.
I was going to say,
contact. DJ's going around. Let's see if he can keep it down. Does keep it down once again, man. He's doing a good job there. I can't believe nobody got into them. We have a car spinning up there, too. Thomas Keane. See what happened to Thomas Keane on this replay here. Oh, he was kind of involved in the 951, but yeah, just a delayed loose spin there. Locks it up. Good job locking it up, keeping it from coming back up on the track. Really good job there.
Boy, DJ Anderson is just having a heck of a night tonight.
Yeah, are you sure you didn't pick him? It was me, right?
Yes, it was you.
I still have faith. He's come back from
Come back from
incidents.
worse.
Yeah.
Just dust it off and get the car back up there. You know, another one, a car that I like out there, Mike, is the 933 of J. Adair. I really like that hood on that. That's pretty sharp.
Let's go ahead and put it up on the screen here. Oh yeah, we talked about that one earlier. It is very nice looking. I like that that skull up on the front there.
Yeah, that's bad. I like that.
Let's take a look at the 983 of Jack Walls. We haven't talked about him earlier in the race yet. He's running that U.S. Army green paint scheme. I like that one there as well. Classic Army colors.
You know, another guy we haven't talked about, but is doing fairly decent out there tonight is Jeff Sharp. Jeff Sharp in that 949.
Yeah, up to 14th position. It's good to see him mid-pack right now. He's been pretty strong. Car looks like it's in good shape.
Yeah, you don't see a whole lot of damage on it, and I think he's just kind of racing his race out there and just putting down some laps. We're getting close to, you know, about close to about 75 laps down. You know, still in that 60 range, but yeah, I think he's just trying to keep that car clean, race his race, and get around the track here.
Hey, look, we're 66 laps in, 67 laps in. We've only had 2 cautions so far. This is the... Oh, we got a car spinning. John Furshing.
John Furshing Jr. Boy, that car, John's car, is just tore up.
Oh, there was a car in the wall in front of him. Nowhere to go.
It was the 933 with Jay Adair.
Wow, it's like our thing. We talk about them, and they're involved in incidents.
Yes, and that was quite the unique spin there by John Furshing Jr. because he actually put that car uh, behind the wall and then drove back out. So that was really neat. He probably doesn't feel it was very neat, but
Oh yeah,
good television.
he killed a fireman, but it's all good. He shouldn't have been standing there.
Right, exactly. Probably scared the pit car or pace car
Yeah,
driver
the
as
pace
well.
car comes out right in front of him. 15 does a good job getting around him there. Doesn't want to get stuck behind it, and yeah, the front end's not looking good. Hopefully, he's got a quick repair.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. I don't know that we've seen the 15 involved in too much of anything. I think it's, you know, and speaking of the 15 and Team WoW, how are they doing? How is Team WoW doing tonight?
You tell me.
Well, let me take a look here. Obviously, John Furshing Jr. involved in that incident. He's currently the last car in the lead lap, currently showing in 19th. Let's go to Brian Wynn. And
It's 22nd right now. Looks like 3 laps down.
yeah, 3 laps down.
Take a look at that paint scheme too. Another really cool looking paint. Look at that POW logo on the front of that car. A lot going on with that paint scheme. There's some good stuff going on everywhere on that car. I believe that is a
Mark Bratcher.
Mark Bratcher real deal graphics paint job. Yep, for sure. Shout out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe their last driver is the 7 of Nelson Rivera, my pick tonight, currently in 5th.
Yeah, good to see you know, him representing WoW Racing right now. 7th place, good place to be. I think they have another driver. I forget what his name is. I think he works at Burger King or something. Maybe he'll show up. I don't know. We haven't seen him in a while, but he'll be back one day, hopefully.
Yes, absolutely. Is it me or all of those drivers out of New York?
They are all out of Rome, New York, I believe. I don't know if Nelson is, but the double O
Definitely a New Yorker, though.
is he? Yeah, probably. These guys definitely in the northern area. I have met up with both Brian Wynn and John Fershing in a couple different occasions, and couldn't ask for a couple better guys to be part of the league. Like having them around.
Absolutely.
And hey, it wouldn't be entertaining if the double O wasn't sliding across his hood somewhere.
Well, if his meme on social media holds true, the only time we give him airtime anyway is when he's upside down.
Hey, he's not upside down right now, and that car looks pretty good. It doesn't look like there's any damage on it, so we got it. It's good. We'll come back to it later. I'm sure it'll be, not as nice looking. Man, I love the hood on that thing. It looks really good. Except it's a Ford. Ugh.
Not a Ford fan, are you?
No, I'm a Chevy guy through and through.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Chevrolets as well.
All right, looks like these guys are going to double up here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I mean, I know I keep saying that sounds like a broken record a little bit, but you got quite a few cars in the field right now with either some damage that have been running up there. Case in point, Nelson, my pick. I noticed he's got some damage on that right-hand side, not enough to bring him in. You got drivers like the 983 of Jack Walls, our Daytona winner, but he's already been involved in an incident and used a quick repair. So. Yeah, and we're not even halfway through the race. So, where do you kind of just let things play out for a while and hang out in the back, or you try to be aggressive, get up front, or, I mean, I don't know. There's so many possibilities.
I don't think I'm going to be aggressive yet, man. I think no matter where I am, I just kind of want to get into my own rhythm. I don't want to be in a group of cars, that's for sure. If we have to be out front, let's be out front. But, yeah, I got to get into our own rhythm and just kind of click off some numbers here. That's what we want to do. Good start up front. We got some good hard racing going on. David Howard wants that lead. He's going to take that low line, see if he can pass the two cars here, the 28 and the 964. 28's going up the track, getting kind of hung out there. Kind of just wants to cut that corner and maybe get a good run, and he does get a really good run off of 4.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things. I know I personally haven't talked about him a lot tonight. Jason Wells, man, you really got to hand it to that guy. That guy has been dominating this race up to this point.
Yeah, we haven't talked about him because he's been out front all race. 46 laps led so far of the 73.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they must have had this car dialed in, and Jason definitely knows his way around this track, obviously. And I think it's going to get interesting. Kelvin's been right up there at the since the very beginning as well. But we're starting to see some new players in it. But Jason just continues to show his dominance out there.
Yeah, Jason, I believe he also had a paint scheme here for tonight, but loaded the wrong car, so paint scheme does not show up. So be sure to check out Facebook. I believe he had one. I could be wrong, but check Facebook, and hopefully we'll have some more paints for you guys to take out later.
I thought we were just going to disqualify him.
Right, that's it. You loaded the wrong car. We're going to take the win away.
Yeah.
Some good hard racing going on again. Nelson Revere is looking on the inside of the 18 or the 18 of Trent Potter. Trying to make some moves here and complete that pass. The 18 is again getting a good run off of 4 here and is able to kind of shoot on by. Nelson's going to try it again.
Yeah, Potter just running that really high line going into those corners. Well, you got to really be careful. It's we know drivers can run up there and put a bubble between them and the wall, but there are also a lot of other times where it's just you meeting the wall.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what's key is you let the car, your perfect line here is enter, mid-track into one and let the car drift up to the wall and then come back down as you exit two and really kind of get a good runoff. That's what Calvin was doing, and that's what I think the leaders are doing. It's hard to do when you're running in a pack because you don't want to be all over the track like that, but if you can get that car drifting out to the wall and as high as you can and kind of lengthen that backstretch, you can really get a good run.
You know who could be a sleeper in all this that we haven't really been talking about is we haven't talked a lot about James Skelton in that 86. You know, he's always fast. You know, I know he puts in the track time. He's just been kind of hanging out in the middle of the pack, just watching the stuff unfold, and so he could be one to reckon with when we get closer to the end of the race here.
Yeah, James is one of those consistent drivers. We haven't spoken about him a lot the last couple of races, but yeah, this is the type of track he usually excels at, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him, you know, up top 5 here late in the race.
Yeah, and it's interesting, you know, I mean, our colleague in crime, who's not in the booth with us tonight, Dustin Phillips, owner of that DPM team. Normally we get some DPM updates, you know, obviously with Dustin in the booth, but, you know, wherever he's at tonight, we hope Dustin's doing the best, and I'm sure he's rooting for his team here tonight.
Yeah, he says he's coming back here on Friday, and he said he was going to try and watch the race here tonight, so it'll be good to get him back here in a couple weeks in the booth.
Absolutely.
DJ Anderson looking on the inside of the 917 here for 5th place. That car's looking mighty good. Looks like he used his quick repair, and man, he's fast with that fresh car back up to 5th place.
You know, Mike, it's one of those things too, because you know this is a long race. Kind of reminds me of that Coca-Cola 600 here at Charlotte.
Yep.
You know, and one of those questions that always comes out is like, what do you do when you got to go to the bathroom? You know, you can't just pull a car over.
It's true.
You know, Josh Buckley.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure Josh Buckley has just pulled the car over.
Yeah, I mean, he just pulled it over, and you know, under a caution, and just back in the car. So, but yeah, 200 laps. To be quite honest with you, at Charlotte, it's not only fatiguing from a muscle standpoint, and some people are going to laugh at that, but even in sim racing, you get fatigued both mentally and physically of going around this track, and this track is no joke. It every instance of this track, except for maybe the backstretch, is really different, and the backstretch is your really only time for some relief, but if you're in traffic, it's not much of a relief there either.
I agree 100%, and people don't understand that you can get some pretty powerful wheels, like the AccuForce wheel. I'm pretty sure a couple guys run the AccuForce wheel in that. You know, you put the force feedback up on that, and it is beyond a doubt you're driving a car. You got to muscle that thing through the corners. Like, you're not getting the G-forces on the body that you would in the car, but you're still working your upper arms, and it could definitely be fatiguing. And, you know, I don't want, you know, people to forget that being in the booth for one of these races, it's pretty fatiguing as well.
Absolutely. I would agree. You know, 2 hours with me, and people are just like, you know, I need some therapy.
951's making that outside line work, gets around the 18 car. Good battle going on right here, but DJ Anderson on the move up to 4th.
Yeah, just a couple updates there. You know, I noticed that we actually, looks like the majority of the Haneys retired their cars, as well as Josh Buckley. So maybe not the night that they were looking for tonight, but we've got definitely plenty of action on the track. You know, I think James Skelton's out there without any teammates, so he's just going to have to give the best finish he can. But you know, this track isn't too dependent on teammates anyway, so as long as he keeps his car clean, he can be there at the end. So.
Checking in on that leader right now, Jason Wells got a 1.1 second gap to that second place of Calvin Allison. Let's go ahead and run through the top 5. Wells in first, Calvin Allison on the 28 car in second, 999 of Corey Wharton in third, DJ Anderson up to 4th place, and David Howard Jr. with the respectable 5th place. Still not even at the halfway point of this race, so lots to go.
Yeah, and some of these guys might be wishing it was a little bit further along, but um, I think they've got what it takes to get here to the end.
So here's my idea for next year, okay?
All right?
We run the 300 here, right? But before we run the 300, we run Indianapolis in the open wheel cars for 250 miles. We do the double.
Wow, that's
all broadcast live, no break in between.
that wow, yeah, that could prove to be interesting. Might as well throw in the Rolex 24 while we're
Yeah, sure. 951's looking on the 999 of Corey Wharton. He's on a mission, man. DJ wants to get up to that front. He thinks he was robbed early on, and I believe. Do you remember who he got into? Was it the 999?
Yeah, I don't recall.
I don't recall either, but watching these guys run pretty respectful at the moment here. 999 is not going to let him take that position. No room for DJ to come up. The 999 of Corey Wharton gets a good run into 3. You can really see the 951 pull away on the corner. He wants just an inch so he can drift up, but again, doesn't get it. Gets it there, though. He's got that line now. Might see the 999 go under. He doesn't. So it looks like the 917 is going to try and capitalize that on as well. Follow the 951.
Yeah, again, I'm just looking at the cars just a lap down there. Both Brian Wynn and John Fershing Jr. both 2 laps down, as Fershing Jr. looks under Brian Wynn to be the first car 2 laps down. But I would have thought he would have been I thought he would have stayed on the lead lap there, getting his car repaired. I guess not.
I guess not. But he is the first car 2 laps down. So he'll, in the event of a caution, he could still get a lucky dog here. Still racing real hard here, back up and forth. We got 2 cars too wide. I think we're now seeing the tire fall off a little bit. We're about 21 laps on these tires.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting, to be honest with you. I've been hearing some radio communication out there with that pack of cars that are running, side by side. Some are saying, it's a little bit too early to be running that aggressive. Give some room, and I'm not. Some drivers like that. Some drivers want to use that to their advantage.
Just give some room, says the guy who puts it, dive in the corners to make it too wide. So, yeah, you can't expect guys to get over. They're not going to just let you by. If you're happy running behind somebody, then run behind somebody. But caution is out. Thomas Keane in the wall. I only see the 1 car. Let's take a look and see what happened. See if we can watch the corner here. 72 is right behind him. Looks like Keane checks up a bit because he's got the car in front of him. 72 just gives him a little bump, and that puts him in the wall, and he just couldn't hold on to it. Oh, and Mike Abbott collects him, unfortunately.
Yeah, that.
Let's go ahead and ride on board with Thomas Keane. Yeah, I think he just checks up a little bit because he's got the car in front of him, and the 72 doesn't expect it, and just barely gives him any help. It doesn't, even from the in-car of the 929, it doesn't feel like there's contact, but it definitely gives him a little bit more momentum and puts him up in the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we are getting to that later part of the run. Tires are probably falling off a little bit. We've all experienced what the ride is out of turn 4. Yeah. If you're in that gas a little bit earlier, the back end just gets a little bit squirrely, and or you're trying to make sure it doesn't get squirrely, and you're laying off a little bit where the guy behind you isn't, and you can definitely find yourself in a predicament.
Yeah, that it's like the track just kind of disappears from underneath you, and the car just becomes totally light, and it's a tough corner when you're not, completely ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you being in Canada, you obviously are familiar with the snow. Me myself being in Minnesota, we've driven on snow before. We've all felt what it's like to be on that ice, or if you're in the south, that black ice that's on the road. You don't see it, and next thing you know, that the tires go out, and it's the exact same feeling.
I'm riding on board with Raymond Edge. He's got the engine shut off, so we've seen some fuel strategy going on here.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I'm not really sure what. I don't know. Lap 96 doing fuel strategy. I wouldn't waste my time with it personally, but Raymond's he's one of those tinkers. He's one of those masters of utilizing what he can with the car. So yeah, maybe it works out for him.
Yeah, you
Get
never
out
know. I
there.
wouldn't expect it to go green the rest of the way, but if it was to go green, saving this could over 3 runs could really help you. But you're right, it's pretty early here.
Yeah, so the field continues to dwindle as more cars have either been in incidents or just not had the cars to perform. We see Scott Kidd looks like he's retired that car along with Jay Adair, who was actually running good there for a while until you started talking about him. And then Thomas Keane looks like he's retired as well.
Let's go ahead and showcase the 59 of Bruce Potter's running another nationwide scheme. A lot of Dale Jr. schemes going on here, but this is a Mountain Dew Tax Slayer nationwide. Nice patriotic blue-red paint scheme. Looks real good, real sharp.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really cool looking car. Have you decided which do you're gonna go with?
Uh, Coca-Cola.
I'll take that as no. I'm a big Mountain Dew Blast fan. Normally, I'll be surprised if they bring out the Mountain Dew Blast, and hopefully they make it more available than it is now. I just know up north here, it's one of those things that you can really only get at Taco Bell, as crazy as that sounds. Always enjoyed it when I've had it, so I'm going with the Blast.
I'm definitely not a Mountain Dew type of guy, but yeah, the paint scheme was nice on that Blast car. I do remember that.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of hoping somebody would bring back the amp, uh,
Yeah.
Dale Jr.'s amp car. I'm a big amp fan, probably a little bit more than I need to be. So, but always like those amp painted cars. So great stuff there.
All right, gonna be going back to green here. Lap 99, one lap away from being halfway. We appreciate the viewers joining us. We're about an hour and 15 minutes into this broadcast. It's going to be an endurance one, but been some good racing so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely still a full field out there. Guys doing some different strategy. Got green flags, so let's get going.
951 is just pushing Jason Wells, but does back off when he switches gears here. Calvin gets a great start on the inside. 999 is going to look to capitalize and maybe try and clear Jason Wells, but doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Yeah, DJ Anderson looks like he's got a real fast car there. I think he's had enough of being in the back, being involved in some of these other incidents. I think he wants to put that 951 M&M Toyota up there in P1. So as we're watching these guys go around, Mike, I want to just take a quick second, with the second segment coming up on us quickly. We've got some new sponsors coming on board for some of these racers. Not only Dumper coming on and doing some, but we've got Joe Reel. We use Joe Reel a lot. They've been real good to us, been able to give us some licenses for some of the winners, the champion of the series, so real happy to have them come on board.
Yeah, for sure. Looking forward to running our first official race for them. We got to add them to our supporters page. We will do that soon. Great little product there. looking forward to having them on board. We also got John Frisching Sr., I believe, has jumped on board for a race sponsorship as well. Hopefully we'll have a logo and some announcements coming up on that here in the next couple of weeks.
So I didn't even look, Mike. Did we have 35 cars start the field?
We did not, but that's a good talk about that. We only had 30 cars start the field, but we do still run the Drive for 35. If 35 people start the race, one lucky random draw is going to get $5 in iRacing credits every week. But we did not make it there this week. We hope to see these drivers come out en masse for Season 2.
Absolutely. I'm curious, have you heard any rumors in regards to the NAVSCAR looking at dirt tracks when they come out?
Hey, I know there's a lot of, well, I wouldn't say that, but there's some interest out there for it, so you never know. We're always looking to bring another series here, and I think, dirt ovals would kind of fit our mindset.
Well, yeah, but I think I was more alluding to the trucks running out Eldora.
Oh, yeah.
And I was kind of hoping that we would see that on the schedule if it becomes available. That is an official race there for NASCAR.
Yeah, no, you're right. We run the truck series. It is a mirrored series to the iRacing series, so I assume when we get some dirt, we'll be slipping and sliding around that track. Hell, maybe we'll throw the A cars up in there too.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see that. That's some good stuff. That makes for some good competition. And was there also a talk of a powder puff race sometime?
We've been talking about it for a while. We definitely got to shoot it up and schedule it so we can get some of the wives and girlfriends and daughters. Maybe they can get up on the wheel and turn some laps.
Yeah, speaking of that, we'll just give them a quick shout out right now because I know a lot of these wives are supporting their drivers. I mean, to be quite honest with you, you look at Samantha Bush, you look at some of these real-life NASCAR drivers' wives supporting them. No different here. We know we've got wives in the other room watching the broadcast. I've even heard some crazy stuff of wives coming in and say, "Why did you just do that?"
Yeah.
So we know that the wives, the girlfriends, the family members are definitely watching the broadcast and definitely want to be part of this too. So
yeah, we definitely appreciate the support. We've been doing this now for 18 months. We've been around at least running NAVSCAR and kind of grown into a 2 and 3 night a week ordeal for some guys, and we appreciate the support we get from our family members and significant others. We couldn't do it without them for sure.
Absolutely. Well, let's get back to that action there, Mike. Up front, got Calvin just kind of putting the laps down, leading the field here. I'm kind of surprised to see the 964 Jason Wells back there a little bit. It doesn't look like he's really trying to push the issue. He's got Corey Wharton in front of him in the 999. They all just seem to be kind of running single file now and content to knock some laps out.
Yeah, he definitely didn't have his best start on the outside there like he has in the past, or he was on the inside. Maybe that'd be the difference. But you're right. We're turning lap 109. I think now it's really kind of time. You got to figure we've lost a handful of cars. The track is not as full as it was before, so we might be really putting a green flag run here. And I think we're going to see some guys kind of just tiptoe for the first half and then kind of turn it on in the second half when they think that the other guys have really burned through their tires. I know we've spoken about it early in the race, but it's going to be key here to get that win.
Yeah, absolutely. And I still believe this wholeheartedly, that there is a sleeper in the middle of that pack. Some guy that has, just not wanted to be aggressive, just kind of wanted to hang out mid-pack, stay clean, and wait until the latter laps to really start making their move.
We've only seen 3 leaders so far. Calvin Allison has led 37 laps up to this point. Jason Wells 72 laps, and Sean Butler did get 1 lap, get some of those bonus points, and I think we're going to start seeing some guys maybe take a shot at it. DJ Anderson now up to 2nd place.
Yeah, and I heard some radio traffic him saying it only took him 94 laps to get back into the front. but that's diligence there. I mean, that's working on it, getting your car back up to where it needs to be, running through traffic, and just trying to run clean. Speaking of points, you've shown on the broadcast there's people are watching the ticker go across there of who's locked in the chase, who's in the chase. We definitely got some drivers on the bubble, and 82 being one of those. And so tonight is not going to be a good points night for the 82 as well as some of these other drivers.
Yeah, the 59, the 94, a lot of guys that are on the bubble right now that are in the back half of the field. Keith Haney specifically right now 28th position out of the race, and I think that's going to move him out of that top 20 come next week. We will have a chase grid hopefully for you guys next broadcast. We'll show everybody where they're at, and as we get down to season 2, I think we're going to try our best here to have a chase grid every week to see where everyone stands, so we know going into into the last part of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of the points, Sean Butler, currently our points leader, with John Fishing Jr. just right behind him, and Jason Wells. Jason Wells, obviously, we've talked about him quite a bit here this evening. It's been real consistent, and he's looking for a good finish. John Fishing Jr., though, with those incidents being further down in the points, that could definitely take a hit. We might see some movement. I think we're going to see movement across the board here, honestly, Mike, when it comes to the point standings. But Sean may be able to capitalize more than anybody if he can get a good finish here tonight.
Yeah, Sean is, locked in right now. 15, he's comfortably in, but, not locked in, does not have a win yet. So those are the guys that I think really got to be thinking, hey,
caution's out.
Caution is out. I did not see. Did you see?
I see the 94 in pit road, I believe. I'm not sure if he was the cause of it or he was just in there previously, but...
Oh yeah, there he is. He did have an accident. Let's see if we can...
Yeah, he hit the wall in the trioval right before the start-finish line and then found himself slamming into the pit wall.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. He just he ran into that trioval wall.
Think he was texting and driving?
Maybe eating some Vegemite. He'll get it. Nobody else will get it, but he'll get it.
Yeah, and then he just really had a...
Yeah, and the way that the car is kind of handling, it doesn't look like... Oh yeah, he's under control there, but it's toast.
Yeah, definitely had that car towed, so he was, I believe, about 9 laps down, so...
Pit road is full. Looks like every single car right now in their box. It's going to be a good race off here.
It looks like everybody's going to be going with 4. I don't see any real risk takers here.
Yeah, looks like everybody in the top 15 there did take 4 tires. The 11, William Long, 18.6 second stop. I guess he's still going. I guess he's getting repaired. Let's go take a quick look at our truck schedule. So right now we just finished Charlotte. We're going to be running Monza next week. That's going to be an interesting one. But if you're sitting here watching this race, you want to know how you can get involved, join the NAVSCAR Racing League, or if you know somebody who is into this kind of stuff and is part of iRacing and wants to get them involved. Truck Series runs Monday nights. We do practice on Sunday, run on Monday nights. It's not broadcast, but it's a great little stepping stone to the Pro Series, and we've had some really great racing there. Last 4 races. Pretty good turnouts and not a lot of cautions. A lot of guys have showcased their talent, and I think we're going to see some guys here move up into the Pro Series from it real soon. So check us out. Send us an email if you want to get involved. You can apply on the iRacing League page. All you got to do is hold a C license or above, and that's it. And you can run with us on Monday nights and kind of get the feeling for the trucks. My goal is to be in a truck by no later than the start of season 2. I'm going to run that series full time, hand off the main admin duties to one of our partners there, and I'm looking forward to getting back in the seat here.
Yeah, I think a lot of drivers are waiting to see you out there. I know when I returned to the driver's seat in the truck, I felt like I had a little bit of a bullseye on my back, if you will, and I think you will probably experience a little bit of the same. And that's when I say that, that's all in good fun. I think it just a lot of guys know that you know, we're up in the booth, and you specifically haven't been on the track in a while, and I think they're eager to get out there and see what you got.
Yeah, it's definitely been a while that you know, I don't even have my rig anymore, so I'm gonna have to work something up on my desk, and hopefully we'll get it comfortable to the point where I can be competitive. It's going to be a lot different than, you know, what I'm used to, but hopefully we can have something set up that's a little bit more my style in the next coming months. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since I've been on the track, and I think the trucks are super fun, so it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to remind you of the rules, Mike. You're not allowed to use a controller. Um,
Damn.
yeah, we well, while we say that in jest, we've actually had some drivers actually show up with the controllers before in the past, and that's just one of the rules that we have here, one of many. That we don't allow drivers with controllers. These guys are out here with the wheel. We want them to have the, you know, as a real of an experience as we can, not only for themselves but for the other drivers that are on the track. So.
Yeah, you know, the better the rig, the more competitive you're going to be. You might think you're having fun with a controller, but you'll never be competitive, and you'll actually just get in the way. But yeah, I'll have my wheel. It'll be bolted to my desk at the very least, and hopefully we'll have a good setup.
Are you gonna go all out and convince the wife that you need to pick up the $2,000 wheel, or
I have my G155. That's right? No, it's not. G27. What's the G155?
G27?
G27. That should get me by for now. But when I build my rig, we'll probably see an upgrade in the future. As we go back to green.
I was about ready to ask you, was that some type of prototype you weren't aware of?
Yeah, the G155 is just way better than the 27. Roughly 5 times better.
It's like, that's impressive. All right, so some real tight racing up here as we got Corey Wharton looking for the lead. He's pressing hard on DJ Anderson, going out of 4 there. Woo,
yeah, he did get that.
Close.
That was close. Definitely keeping him down there. The tighter you keep him down, the slower you're going to be. And he's pulled off. Got it. That's his second lap led there. DJ was able to lead a couple of laps as well. So a couple bonus points for 2 different drivers. I think this is the first time we've seen the 999 up front in quite some time.
Yeah, it's good to see him out front. With that being said, and I'll say it once and leave it alone, you race a driver like that, you know what's coming the next time around. So
yeah, still 78 laps to go, and yep, I agree with you 100%. We'll see how that goes for him when we get down to it.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's going to get some bonus points for leading the lap here, so that's good for him. And let's see how long you can keep it out front. He's definitely got Jason Wells just breathing down his neck, and to be quite honest with you, that 951 is probably wants his spot back. No,
yeah,
I think they. Okay.
I was gonna say I don't think we're gonna see them. Actually, the 951 dives in right there as I say that.
Yeah, and they're gonna have some lap traffic. I know the 94 was calling out that he was coming out on the backstretch. It's going to be a little bit before they get to him, but they are probably going to have to deal with some lap traffic here coming up shortly with these leaders. So I'm looking at the 94 on my track overlay. He's going into 1 and 2 as these guys are coming to the start finish right now. So, well, I'll have to keep monitoring that.
Yeah, and the 94 right now, that previous lap while he was in the pits. We'll see what kind of lap times he is holding. How's this car look? Did he get that quick repair?
I would only assume he did because he's definitely... caution's out. I believe that is the 15 of John Pershing Jr., maybe?
I see the 18 of
Or
Trent
18,
Potter.
18,
Yeah.
18, yep. Sorry, I knew it was a teen. I just couldn't tell.
Let's see if we can take a look. Oh, he just self-spins there. Wow. Oh, that was... David Howard Jr. must have been pretty antsy going around the outside, and the 18 couldn't keep it together. Whoa, man, there was a couple close calls there. Some pretty impressive stuff. We got to ride on board with Will Long as he drives by that. Riding on board with 11 of Will Long. We're going to do turns 1 and 2, and then we're going to see this happen on the backstretch. Some good avoidance. Good avoidance here by the 11. You can see that spin happen up in front of him. He almost saves it. 2 spins happen up there. Whoa. And the 983, man, we got to watch that one too.
And I just want to throw out there, Mike, the 964 hit the commitment cone coming into the pits. So we'll see if that sends him back to the rear.
Wow, 983 does a great job there. Who hit the commitment cone, did you say?
964 of Jason Wells.
They didn't hold him, so yeah, that's weird. Usually they would hold him in his pits.
Unless he
got a black flag.
Yeah, I was going to say an unsafe pit entry might be a black flag that he may need to serve under green here. I haven't heard any radio communication saying that's what he would need to do, but we're going to find out here sooner or later. I think that would be interesting to see how that one plays out. And then the 951 looks like he was the first one off pit road, followed by Corey Wharton and 964 Jason Wells. And then
72 did not pit?
I don't know.
Because I have him leading the race right now.
Well, you said he was also playing with the fuel strategy, so maybe he's just trying to get on a different cycle than these guys and be there. He may be figuring that these guys need to pit close to the end, where he may have already still have half a tank left.
You know what I find way more interesting than Raymond staying out?
What's that?
951 took 2 tires, I believe.
Well, I called it. I said somebody's going to take.
Someone's going to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's going to gamble. I mean, there's a lot riding on this. You want that ticket into the chase, and this could definitely be one way to do it. I am real happy to see James Skelton move up a little bit closer to the front of the pack. I think it's going to be interesting because I don't know how hard he's been pushing. I know he's been pushing to get himself up there, but these cars up front are not there by happenstance. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
They're there because they've been fast all night, and to get around these guys is going to take something a little bit more than what we've seen up to this point. And we kind of seen a little preview of that when it came to the 999 pushing down the 951 in the corner there. Maybe a little bit earlier, but I still think we're going to start seeing it a little bit more than what we have up to this point.
This would be the 28 car. I think this is the last car we have yet to showcase on the broadcast. The 28 Hooligan America edition with good old Donald Trump on the rear quarter panel. He's looking pretty good right there. Doesn't have a lot of damage to his face. He's more so than normal. And then the front of the car looks pretty good. I like seeing those textures on that car. Good job there.
America. That's right. What other broadcast are you going to hear the announcers talk about America?
I'm sure there's a million broadcasts where they talk about America.
I'm talking when it comes to iRacing.
Right.
But maybe there are.
Yeah, my comment still stands.
All right, fair enough. As we're getting ready to go back green, we got them 2x2 going into 3 and out of 4 here in a second. But I think it's going to be something to keep an eye on. We have the 999 next to the 951.
And the 72 starting up front, so I think a lot to keep an eye here. Keep an eye on, wow, 999 trying to go into the grass to make this pass.
Yeah, it seems a little premature, but hey, brings it on to the outside. Might see a killer crossover here, going into three.
Yeah, I don't think DJ's going to be able to keep him back here, but 999's got to be patient. Yes, you're on fresh stuff. Yes, you're going to be faster, but if you don't have the patience, man, you're going to just wreck both cars and it's going to be over. So, DJ's off to a good start here on those 2 tires.
Yeah, and James Skelton up to third.
72 is doing what he can to stay out of the way. He's got his hand out the window and staying high, letting these guys go below him here.
And I don't see Jason Wells coming in to serve a black flag, so hopefully he's all squared away there, and we'll keep moving.
Yeah, I think he'd be coming in by now, so looks like he's okay. There's a commitment. Yeah, it's weird that the commitment code, he hit it and no penalty.
I was gonna say, not only did he hit it, he punted it halfway down the infield, so I'm kind of surprised. There was a reason why I seen it.
Jason's using that opportunity to get below the 72 here. They're still battling pretty well up front. Corey is still stuck behind the 951 of DJ Anderson. But he might be playing it smart here. Like, if he's got 4 tires, I wouldn't even try and pass him yet, man. As long as they're leaving the field behind him, there's no hurry, man. Wait till his other 2 tires wore down, and you can get on by him at your leisure, so to speak.
Yeah, but Corey's not one to just lay back, and I say that in the nicest way. I wouldn't doubt if I see him try to get as close to DJ's bumper there. Hey, let him know I'm here. You might want to just keep going it and try to get him to burn those tires up a little bit quicker than maybe what he was planning on doing. As we see him pull real close to the 951 on the backstretch going into 3.
Are you watching live?
Well, I thought I was.
Yeah, they are? All right, cool. They didn't look that close together. Maybe it was just me.
I just thought he got a real good run coming out of 2 down the backstretch into 3 there. Yeah, I mean, I know he's about a car and a half, maybe probably closer to 2 cars back from him, but he's getting some real good runs off of the corners where I think he's doing a little bit out of the corners, better out of the corners than DJ is right now.
Still got 18 cars on the lead lap. Right now, William Long is the last car on the lead lap. Let's go ahead and take a look at our top 5. Right now, DJ Anderson is first place. Wharton second place. Skelton third. Wells fourth. And Sean Butler battling up to top 5. Haven't really seen him so far this race, but I'm sure he'll be there near the end.
Yeah, it's interesting too. And just for the sake of conversation, I don't know if you've ever taken a look at the back of the 999 of Corey Wharton's car. He's got some really what I would consider small rookie stripes back there, and it's not a call out to say that he's a rookie, but I noticed the very same type of paint scheme on Chase Elliott in NASCAR, and I thought that was unique because I thought it was a rule that those rookie stripes had to be so large on the back of that car. They couldn't be just thin yellow stripes like that. I don't know, what are your thoughts on that?
I thought they were mandated, and definitely that's not I don't know. Whoa, do we have some smoke? I see some smoke. The rookie stripes and all the license stripes in iRacing are stamped on the car, so they can't be painted. There goes the 72. Looks like he blew up.
Yep. Yeah, I heard the 72 was running a prototype engine tonight. A little bit more horsepower, so it's probably blowing up there.
Let's see if we can take a look at the replay. Oh yeah, he just he blew it up by running it into the wall. I think that'll do it. Looks like he got loose going into 1. Was running in pack there, but he would have been on loose tires. It looked maybe like a little bit of net code. So yeah, it sucks to see that car in the shape that it's in, but he'll be there next week. Oh wait, no he won't, because he's gonna admin next week.
Yeah,
he'll be there in the trucks.
So to go back to the Chase Elliott thing, I'm serious. I'm curious as to how he gets away with running that paint scheme. I wonder if the sponsors don't have something to do with it as well, because those are the most minuscule rookie stripes I've ever seen on a rookie's car ever.
Yeah, sponsorship could have something to do with it. He's running one of the most profitable teams in the business.
Yeah, absolutely. And back to our race, Corey Wharton is definitely making his presence known to TJ Anderson as he's pulled up to the back of that bumper several times here over the last lap and a half. It's giving a little room right now, a little breather, maybe just cooling off tires, maybe wanted to just see what his car could do. But he definitely pulled up there to the back of that 951 in the corners a couple times now. So it might be that point where we're seeing the two tires kind of fall off or begin to fall off, where the four tires are still providing a little bit of advantage here, as the 999 just looks a little bit under the 951, takes a peek.
Yeah, I think he's just waiting for that little bobble so he can drive underneath, and it could happen at any point here. I think I'm pretty impressed with DJ being able to pull off two tires as well as he has here. That might work out well later in the run. He might be able to take four tires and still maintain his track position, but I think someone's going to try for two on the last pit stop of the evening. We're running one lap 142. We got about 58 laps to go here, as Corey is taking that low line, almost cutting the grass there on those corners.
And who's just kind of lurking in the back? Well, it's not really in the back. He's fifth right now, but Sean Butler. I kind of curious as to what he's doing there. He might be just waiting to pounce. So
yeah, that could very much be it. He doesn't want to get into the mix yet. He's watching two cars fight for position in front of him, and we still got 57 laps to go. There's still lots of racing to be had here, and I think we've seen Sean turn it on in the past, and it might just be a matter of putting his foot down, and when it's time to go, he'll go.
Yeah, Calvin Allison too, somebody that was up front for the majority of the race, currently spotted in 13th. Again, another one of those cars that is like, don't see him being overly aggressive. I think they want to knock this middle section of laps out of the way, and let's get down to business in the last 30, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely uncharacteristic to see Calvin back in the 13th position, but he's got the most wins in the league right now. He's not worried about his chase qualification. He's there. He will be there in the chase. So right now he can race his race however he likes.
I wonder if Calvin's gonna build a wall.
A big redneck style wall
to keep out drivers.
And he'll get them to pay for it.
Yes, they will pay for the wall.
Oh, Jason Wells gets a little bit loose. Looks like James Skelton is going to try and get on the inside, but isn't able to get all the way in there on the entry of one, so backs it down. First 5, 6, 7, 8 cars are all just kind of, good gaps between them running their own race here. David Howard Jr. up to 6th car. Liking that, we talked about that paint scheme. It's not themed to this race, but he did a great job on that Sunny D paint scheme. And I believe he did the truck as well, so he'll be running that scheme, at our truck races on Mondays.
Yeah, I usually see it in my rearview mirror. Oh.
As he's lapping you? Is that what you're saying?
Man, that's a tough crowd. Oh, and I see an 82 out there. That 82, wow. Mike Abbott back out on the track, and he is, he's not on the bubble. He's currently 12th in points right now, but I think he was real nervous about going back further in that bubble. And we've honestly you talked about Keith Haney and some of these other drivers that were kind of in that same area. He may be able to capitalize now and turn some lemons into lemonade. Yeah,
he's 55 laps down, so he's going to finish the race at about 150 laps or so. So he's got two cars ahead of him that he can pass if he gets back on the track, and he actually just passed Jay Adair right there. Thomas Keane is the next car there, and if he can just put a couple more laps, get past Thomas Keane, that's a couple more points.
Oh, absolutely, and that's going to make a huge difference. I mean, and I think we're going to see some of this. And that's going to add another piece of the dynamics that we're going to see is we're going to have guys that are out there trying to make up points, and they're not going to be the fastest cars out on the track.
So, we stepped away for, 20 seconds? And Sean Butler's up to second place and now challenging for the lead.
And we knew it. We talked about it too. We seen it earlier of how good he was on a long green flag run, and it's coming into fruition right here.
Yeah, like he's gonna just step inside here at his pace. The 999 is not really challenging him right now. Those guys have had history in the past. They look like they were running pretty well together right there, and the 951 is gonna just drift up. I think those tires are letting go, and Sean Butler is able to keep it down low, and he's going to make this pass going into one pretty easily.
DJ had a nice run there.
He did. He's thinking about going back underneath, but thinks better of it. Just going to stay in his line. He doesn't want to go underneath and then have the 999 of Corey Wharton drive around the outside of him. 49 laps to go. These guys are going to have to pit one more time, I believe. So I don't... When these guys are going to force the issue, maybe come down and get tires as soon as they think they can make it to the end.
Ooh, we got a car stopped on the backstretch. I believe it is the 94. Looks like he's going to tow here real quick. Doesn't bring out the caution. Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, it was close. Taking a look at the replay right now. Yep, just bounces off the wall. Ooh, real hard into the... Just missed the safety barrier, or maybe caught the safer barrier, but he is going to tow it.
He's really got to stop texting and driving out there. Hit the wall the last time in the tri-oval.
Yeah. All in good fun, Kevin. We're not ragging on you too hard.
Yeah, but I think Kevin's had enough. Brings that car back to the garage, and he is retired for the evening.
And that's, with him being 13 laps down, that's, I'm going to do some math here, 43 laps between Mike Abbott and Kevin O'Brien. If Mike can get on the track and complete 43 laps before the end of this race, he'll pick up another spot. And he is on the track right now. I don't know if he'll be able to manage 43 laps. He's gonna have to hustle.
Yeah, these guys are really minding their P's and Q's out there. I'm hearing a lot of radio traffic, Mike, about the guys talking about all the thank yous and for letting people go by and giving room. So, yeah, I think seeing a brand new dynamic as we see the 82 smoking for some reason.
Yeah, there was a lot of front end damage on that car. It's probably letting go right now, so I don't think he'll be getting those 42 laps.
But no, I don't believe so.
He did pick up 2 extra positions. That's 2 bonus points. So very smart thinking on Mike's part.
Yeah, this track really demands that the car be in optimal condition around the corners and the tri-oval. It doesn't take a lot with a ill-handling car or car that's been damaged significantly to get loose even more than it would under normal conditions.
7 of Nelson Rivera gets a good run there on James Skelton in the 86, able to pick up 5th position.
So I want to go back to Sean Butler. I mean, Sean Butler is sitting in the catbird seat right now. Points leader, leading the race, getting some extra points for leading a race. Jason Wells, being in that, and John Furshing Jr. being in that 2nd and 3rd position. Sean might make this a race that he puts a little gap in between those guys.
DJ gets real loose off the corner and does come down the track, but is able to collect it. Corey Wharton picks up a couple seconds there on him, but yeah, I think you're right, man. I think you're just managing the tires. Sean is now, his last lap was a 29.6. DJ Anderson was a 29.8, and it's actually going to be worse here as they cross the start-finish line. Sean ran a 29.7, DJ at 30.4. So, yeah, I think Sean just manages his stuff, man. That's what he was doing there. He wasn't being aggressive. He wasn't running super hard, and I think it's going to pay off for him here with 42 laps to go.
Got to keep our eye on the 917 and 999. They've been running hard. David Howard Jr. is able to get around him there.
Yeah, as you were saying that, I did pull up that interval because they were so close on the track, and yeah, it looks like the 917
Caution's out.
Caution is out. Tommy Amasi, let's see what happened here. I see a bunch of cars collected. 72 is behind the 901. Oh, Tommy Amasi just...
72 of Raymond Edge is involved.
And Dumper, unfortunately, is collected in that as well.
He may have gotten a little hope, but they were
Well,
definitely on different.
the entry was so riding on board right now with Raymond Edge, and you can see there's a pretty good gap here between the two cars. He is closing pretty well on him, but
Yeah,
oh yeah, it's just,
the radio traffic out of the 901 said that his tires were gone and he backed out and was just the tires were loose, so um, he just couldn't get out of the way quick enough, and 72 just kind of right puts in there.
yeah. I don't think he was expecting him to slow up that much, and that's I think where communication would be key, letting you know, hey, you're closing on me pretty quick here, and I'm gonna go high, but it isn't meant to be, as the 72 puts it in his box.
Yeah, I seen him change tires, but yeah, I think he's he's gonna be there for a little bit.
All right, cars are on pit road.
Yeah, it's definitely a race. 999, DJ Anderson. Ooh, it's close.
919 of Sean Butler is going to cross the start or the line in first. DJ second. Corey Wharton fourth place. David Howard is able to pick up third, I believe.
Yeah, I'm showing Sean Butler, DJ Anderson, Corey Wharton, and Nelson.
I'm showing Sean Butler, DJ, and David Howard Jr., Jason Wells, James Skelton. Corey's back into seventh and dropping.
Yeah, I think we gotta wait for it to cycle through here.
You know what? I wonder if he got an end of EOL. Speeding on exit, maybe. He is coming back in. He wouldn't be able to serve a black flag here, so I'm not sure why he's coming in.
Maybe he just wants the extra challenge.
Maybe fuel run is about 37 laps. He's trying to top it up.
It's one way to do it, but the outlier there is the yellow flag doesn't come out.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Is he going to change any tires? No, he's not changing tires. He's sitting in his box. Oh, he is changing tires. Maybe they didn't tighten up a lug.
Yeah, I didn't see any officials out there checking tires.
19 seconds, so he serviced as well, which tells me he didn't serve, and he hits the exit cone. That's interesting. I don't know what happened there, but
I did enjoy. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I did enjoy Matt Kenz's comment about that during the All-Star race. Checking the lug nuts during a race is like stopping a football game and checking people's shoelaces.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy with the All-Star race and how they were bringing them down pit road, and I don't think anybody really knew what was going on. Dale Jr. had the comment of the night for me when he said, this race is kind of like when I used that remote control quadcopter for the first time.
Yeah.
I had no effing idea what I was doing. And that was a pretty good comment. Yeah, I don't think that format worked pretty well. I don't think it was the best format this year, and I think we'll probably see a change next year. I was most disappointed with the qualifying getting rained out. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, and just so you know, Corey Wharton got a black flag for passing under yellow.
Is that what it was? Yeah. Oh, passing under yellow.
Yes.
So maybe he came down to top it up anyways, since he's going to have to come down. Might as well start at the end of the pack.
Yep. But if things go his way, he might see another caution, and it kind of might equal itself out.
You never know with 37 laps to go here. 919 does not get a great start there. The 951 is able to get that outside line moving.
Yeah, and I noticed the 999 actually went into pit road as they took the green. I didn't think that was.
Oh, contact!
Yeah, 951 and 919 get together. I just didn't think that with the 999. I didn't think that was something that you could do.
I think if you time it, if you don't cross the commitment line before the green flag comes out, you can do it. But if you cross that commit line before the green flag comes out, it's not going to help you.
Yeah, as we see the 999 coming out of pit road as the pack comes around him. Some real close racing, 3 wide going into 3. Calvin Ellison puts it 3 wide. John Furshing Jr. on the outside of that with Trent Potter in the middle. Pulled off the 3 wide at about, I don't know, 190 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's crazy. 3 wide is a tough thing to do here, and they all hold it together. Calvin's probably, ready to go here on the move. With right now DJ Anderson and Jason Wells 1-2.
Yeah, I think it's go time for these guys. I think we're definitely seeing the level of aggression take it up a notch.
Yeah, with 34 laps to go, it is time to go. So I think these guys have done a pretty good job here. From the beginning of this race, we didn't see a lot of contact. Guys pretty much played nice, and now it's time to, I got to get every position I'm worth here.
It's time to burn a quick repair. No, just kidding.
Yeah, if you got any left.
If you got any left, yes, that's a really good point.
14 running pretty hard underneath the 18 there, trying to make that pass work, as Calvin is actually going to get underneath the 86 of James Skelton. He's definitely on a mission up to 6th place.
Ooh, James Skelton loose, almost puts it in the wall. Recovers nicely, though. John Furshing Jr. looking to get underneath him there. Tucks in back behind him.
Battle for the lead right now. Jason Wells trying everything he can to get around DJ Anderson. DJ Anderson is he got the good run off the corner on that one. Pulled a gap of almost half a second crossing the start-finish line. David Howard Jr. looking for 2nd place from 3rd. 31 laps to go, though. We still going to have some pretty significant tire fall off, and these guys are running pretty hard up front. Sean Butler's back to 6. He knows what he's doing, man. He's like, I'll let you guys burn him up. I'll come, 20 laps from now.
Oh yeah, but even we're all guilty of it, and I'm not saying that he's done anything wrong. What I'm saying is that when the pace picks up, you pick up by default.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure. Hey, it's not natural to I'm faster than this guy, but I'm going to stay behind him. Like, that's not natural. You want to go as hard as you can every lap, but anybody who has seen, Days of Thunder, you can do it your way, you can do it my way. My way is going to be quicker, and we'll see how it goes here.
Yep. Or you might be quicker, but you're going to burn those tires up.
For sure. Over the long one,
Absolutely.
I think it's definitely faster to save your stuff. And actually, I believe that was at... that scene was at Charlotte, which is where we are right now. It's kind of funny.
And I'm just keeping an eye on my pick, the 7 of Nelson Rivera, as he picks up a spot. Looks like everybody's just trying to make up positions here.
Hey, right now, man, my pick is doing pretty good. Back to the front. DJ Anderson leading this race, but Jason Wells is still fighting pretty hard for that second position. And the 917 is looking just back on the outside there. He wants to improve on that 3rd place.
Yeah, I would say it's a little bit too early to be calling DJ Anderson the winner of the race here, but he's definitely been showing some strength. And the guys that have been able to get to him have not been able to get around him. So you got to really hand it to him up to this point in the race.
Hey,
especially
seeing him battle back from that original incident, man, that's hard to do. As wow, he's getting real loose. But he's going around.
So I guess I won't talk about him anymore.
Did we get a caution? No caution?
No caution.
That's going to ruin his night, man. He was doing so well back to 14th, but he'll get back up to speed.
Well, I did push the button here in the booth. But
yeah, the eject button or the blow right tire button.
the get loose off of turn 2, and yeah.
Those are the hidden admin controls that no one seems to know about.
Well, you know, it's not like we do it intentionally. We just call it like we see it. Well, that kind of changes the dynamics of things, don't you think, Mike?
Yeah, definitely sped out the pack, man. You see someone going around like that, you get off the gas, and I think these first 5 or 6 positions now are separated by about a second and a half. 25 laps to go, still anyone's race.
Still anybody's race, and I'm not even going to mention the driver's name that's currently leading it.
Yeah.
But he's got after that last incident, he's got a little gap there between the second place car. So,
yeah, but right now Calvin Allison right behind him, running about 0.2 quicker per lap. That last lap was 1/10.5 quicker. So they're both closing. Sean Butler right there as well. Sean Butler almost dead heat with Calvin lap time wise. It's going to come down to a pretty good tire wear battle with 24 laps to go.
So speaking of the 951, he's up and running. He is currently going into 1 and 2 as these guys are coming out of 3 and 4. So you know, if there's one person that wants to see a caution, it's going to be DJ Anderson.
Oh yeah, he'd love to get a caution, come out, get 4 fresh ones, maybe take 2 and leapfrog some of these guys with 23 laps to go. He could make something happen, but we'll see how it plays out. We might not get it.
Yeah, but I actually think we will, to be quite honest with you. The cars are closer than they have been all night. We're seeing guys probably taking a little bit more aggressive moves than we've seen all night. Nelson Rivera's, you know, my pick. He's just kind of in the back there trying to make his way around traffic, and he's definitely taking him too wide whenever he can. So,
what was your pick's name again?
Nelson Rivera.
Nelson. Say that one more time.
Nelson.
I just figure every time you say it, it kind of boosts the chances he's gonna wipe out.
That would be. I would take that as you're indicating or trying to say that me saying a driver's name automatically equals disaster. I could be interpreting that wrong.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. I need to get my driver back in this thing.
All right. Well, you know, it might not be too much longer. The 919 is he pulled up pretty close on the back of that. On the back of the 28 there. I think his tires are starting to show where they do their best, and it's on a long run. And as you had said, the 917 and the 28, they're both running fast laps, but they are also burning up their stuff.
Yeah, with 20 laps to go, man, I think it's going to get real interesting. If a caution doesn't come out soon, though, I don't think there's going to be much time to make anything happen after the fact. And you know, if caution comes out with 5 or 4 to go, I think the race will be over.
So we know the 917 uses a real spotter. Can you imagine what that conversation's like right now?
Oh, I'm sure it's super exciting, man. Hey, calling a driver to the win in real life or even in iRacing is super fun. But I'll tell you what's not fun is letting a driver know that the 2 fastest cars consistently on the track are right behind you. So as we get a good run here.
It was a big run on the 28, right behind the 917. Probably giving them a little bit of room here. No need to get really aggressive. There will be another time for another big run here.
Yeah, all it does, you know, all these guys have to do is run on his bumper. You know, with 18 laps to go, you don't have to force the issue yet. Just run on his bumper. He'll let it drift up the track at some point and give you an open door. I think that's exactly what Calvin's going to do. The only problem is Sean might get impatient, and Jason Wells is moving up on these guys as well. Wants that top 3 finished. Oh, 917's backing up right here.
And don't count out James Skelton. He's kind of watching it all unfold too. 919 to the inside of 28. Turn 1, here we go. Looking for that P2.
This is exactly what the 917 wants to see. He wants to see these 2 cars battle for this position.
And if he's not careful, they're both going to overtake him. Yeah, they both ran real hard there. A lot of give and take. Gotta hand it to these guys. A lot of respect. Sean looks to the inside again. Same move as last lap, to the inside in the tri-oval. Can he make it stick?
He got a better run on the corner that time. I think he's going to get a good run off. 28's not going to be able to clear him, though.
28 with the run on the outside, able to make the outside work. He just has to stay on the outside. And to your point, the 917's loving this. He's like, yeah, you guys keep duking it out.
One good thing to note here is David Howard Jr. and Sean Butler are teammates.
They are. Calvin is still making a run on that outside, trying to, move up the track a little bit, maybe see if the outside is a little bit faster. We might see him take a different line here as he pulls right onto the back of the 919 going down the backstretch.
Now this is where, I don't know if team orders come into play here, but I don't believe David Howard Jr. has a win this season.
He does not. Somebody keeps calling his name.
Yeah, Sean Butler has got a couple, so we might not see him run real hard. As you can see, actually, just as soon as he gets in front of him, David is actually able to drive away a little bit, so Calvin's going to try and get by him again here.
Yeah, that makes it really interesting. We're having two teammates there running P1, P2. Calvin might want to just, he's backing up a little bit. Nothing wrong with cooling the tires down and trying to take another run at it. Jason Wells, though, he looks hungry. I think he might like to get in on this little battle.
13 laps to go. Still plenty of time for any of these four drivers. I think it's really in these guys' hand. James has fallen back to about a second and a tenth or so. Might be hard for him to get by all four of these drivers. So I think the race winner here is in the top four cars.
Do you think David's got his spotter going over to the 919 and saying, "Hey man, cut me a break, brother. Cut me a break."
Oh, I guarantee you these guys have a team channel up and they are communicating. But Sean's, he might play nice for a little while, but if 917's tires fall off and those guys start coming behind him, he's not gonna hesitate to pass here.
No, I would agree, but I think I say this, and boy, I hope it's not taken wrong. I think it's in Sean's best interest to get that 917 into victory lane, from a team standpoint, from a team point standpoint, from having fellow teammates in the chase with you, having just as much at stake as you do. Yeah.
No doubt. I absolutely agree with you. I think that it would be beneficial for him to have him in. And Howard is comfortably in the chase. And he probably, there's no doubt in my mind that Howard races into the chase if he does not win here. But it's always nice to have that guarantee. And as a teammate, you know that. And you know that the guy wants that win. And I don't think he's going to race. He's 100% rule, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to force the issue. If I think it's too tough to get by him, I'm not going to get by him here. 10 laps to go.
Yeah, I was wondering, you hear a little bit about that 100% rule here lately. It's like, 100% all the time. And we see him, 919's at the bumper. Oh, this is going to be good. Only a few more laps left.
And Calvin is still, half a second back, and I think that's the difference here. Sean Butler doesn't step out to make that pass. He just kind of settles in. But I think if the guys get on him, and again here, he gets a really good run. It doesn't try and get on the inside. He's just kind of racing his race here. 9 laps to go, and you think you got bad tires now, just give it another 5 laps.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Sean Butler is on that bumper. He's on that bumper. I don't, but in fairness to David and Sean, Sean could push the issue now, but why?
Exactly.
He knows that if he tries it, it's just going to be worse for the both of them. Stay in line. If you're going to, if Sean wants that win, he's going to have to make the attempt on that last lap. And honestly, I think he's going to have to try it out of turn 4.
And they're pulling away from Calvin right now. Like, what happens if he goes to make this pass and they wreck each other? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
He is cutting that corner, though. He is able to keep it down a lot more than David. I think David is probably in a good shape because the cars, 3rd, 4th, 5th down back, those guys are fighting the same issues on tires. I think Sean is probably at an advantage over the top 7 or 8 cars right now with the way that he manages his tires. So, I think David's looking pretty good, and unless Sean decides to, I'm going to wait till the last lap and put on a show here. But look at him just kind of run that corner, and he rolls that corner much better than the 917.
Yeah, he does. And, you know, he doesn't have to push it. I mean, I think the 917, David Howard Jr., he's probably... He's not trying to overdrive the car, but he's also having to deal with what the car is going to give him. And right now, the car is just saying, you know, whew, need a little break here, need the cool tires off. As Sean Butler just pulls up to the back end again, going into turn 3.
Even just having Sean on your, rear bumper like that, it's going to take a little bit of air off that spoiler and upset the car too. So I'm sure they're both very aware of that. But again, Calvin's back to a 0.8 seconds in third place, just watching this unfold. Don't think there's any risk, barring any incident between these two cars, of them catching up in 4 laps to go.
Yeah, but like you said, 4 laps doesn't sound like much, but it is probably taking forever for those 2 cars up front.
Jason Wells, he wants that top 3 finish too. You can see him keep it down low every couple laps, trying to think about going around Calvin, but Calvin's not going to make it easy on them either.
No, not by any means. You're right. Jason Wells would be more than happy to get around the 28 of Calvin Allison there, and we might see it get a little bit more interesting here. You know, the other thing that David might be hoping for is a caution, to be quite honest, because it's
oh yeah,
it'd be done.
Caution right now ends the race, so he's asking people, hey, anybody got any debris out there?
Debris.
Call something here.
Throw the bottle out.
But I think right now he knows that the 919 is not going to push the issue unless he's forced to. So I think he's looking good. Calvin's still steady at 0.8 seconds, 0.9 seconds. It's flopping back and forth. So we're coming to the white flag here this time.
Yeah, maybe somebody would be calling a weeper out on the track.
Yeah. White flag, last lap, I believe.
Ooh, it's really close.
Now this is where Sean's like, okay, I was just toying with you. I'm going to come in for the win here.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I hope there was some good team communication going on team radio there. So looks like David Howard Jr. going to cross that finish line as our race winner tonight.
Yeah, David, good to see him in the top position, taking that win, locking up the chase. Not a more deserving guy out there. Really like seeing him with that win. Looks like everybody else on back is going to cross that start-finish line without incident, and we see it end under green. Love seeing it end under green here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what the drivers wanted to see more than anything. It's going to be interesting to hear the interviews here once we get them in the booth.
He's going to park it down on the start-finish line, burn it up, does a nice little spin-a-rooney.
With his teammate looking on.
David Howard Jr., man, hey, you've been due and pick up the first win of the season here for yourself. Was a great race. Tell us about how your race went. Oh, David, muted. Unmute, buddy. Unmute that mic, David. All right, let's move him up. We'll get second place down. We'll see. We'll try for David. Oh, he's back.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, it's man, that was a long race. I really got to thank my crew chief first, Harry Isbell. Man, we've been putting in a lot of time, and it's starting to pay off. We're not quite fast enough. I don't think we were quite fast enough to win this thing. Got a lot of help tonight. Got to thank Sean Butler and Calvin Allison. Man, those guys gave me a break and probably let me have this win. So, man, what a long race. I'm just excited to be in victory lane, man.
Yeah, but I wouldn't take anything away from the performance that you had out there. I mean, those guys, they were competitive all night, but you put that car up there by yourself, and so uh, I definitely need to give yourself some credit in that regard. But earlier on in the race, you had a couple of incidents that were very close to you that could have definitely changed the outcome of tonight's race. So Charlotte being the track that it is, it's kind of you're working it differently in every single corner on the tri-oval and on the backstretch. And so, can you speak a little bit to tonight's race and not getting caught up into anybody's incidents?
Man, I tell you what, Jamie, it's very, very lucky. Even going for the lead there, I believe the leader spun, and man, my spotter said he got within inches of clipping me, and it would have been all over with. But it was a tough track tonight. I mean, it was so tight, but it had its areas where all of a sudden it would just snap without any warning. So, man, I was just kind of watching those guys, watching the good guys, Calvin, Jason, Sean, all those guys early on there, and kind of watch them pace themselves, and tried to mock it and trying to get better every time around.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were talking about it all night long in regards to the tire wear. Some guys, depending on their steering ratio and offset, were a little bit faster at the beginning. Some went with 2, some went with 4, but it was all about tire management tonight. I think some guys got a little bit surprised when we started having those green flag runs and pitting under green. That made it all the more interesting.
Yeah, it was awesome to see, man. I got to give a big shout out to everybody that raced with us tonight, man. Tonight was one of our best races as far as going green flag, and guys apologizing when they ran into somebody, and man, just a lot of good racing, man. A lot of good guys out there I raced around, man. It was a blast.
Well, good deal. With this win, you punch your ticket into the chase, so you're locked in. I will say that I did not pick you tonight, nor did I refrain from saying your name more than a couple times, even though Mike was trying to egg me on.
Well, hey, I appreciate that, buddy. That's pretty awesome. I wish you would have picked me tonight, by God.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, congratulations on the win, Mike. I don't know if you got anything else, but if you don't, then anybody else you want to give a quick shout out to? Otherwise, we'll let you go and we'll talk to that second place finisher.
Yeah, I just got to send a big shout out first of all to the good Lord, my Savior, and then my wife and kid, my biggest supporters, and then obviously I've spoke several times about my crew chief / spotter, Terry Isbell. I think he's a good reason why we've been getting a little bit better. We're inching closer to being able to win these things legitimately. Tonight, I don't know if it's considered a legitimate win, but like I said, just want to thank all my teammates, man, everybody from IFM, all you guys for all you do, all the admin team, and I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out. If I did, I apologize. Oh, my mother. Of course, you always got to thank Mom, right?
Absolutely.
Well, again, man, congratulations. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yes, sir. I'm excited to get rid of the 9 in front of my number. Thank you.
Yeah, 10-4. Let's bring down our second place finisher, Sean Butler. Sean, man, you managing tires is your thing, man. It looks like we were talking about it a couple times through the race here, where you were, back in the pack, and we're just waiting for you to, hit the launch button and get driving forward. And it looked like you had that going for you a couple times. About 20 laps into a run, you just kind of turned it on, and looked like you might have had some stuff for Howard, but being a teammate, you weren't going to push the issue. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it was an awesome race tonight. From the get-go, I was saving tires, and I drove from 18th to 3rd, and that was pretty much the game plan, was just keep saving tires unless we had a short run, but we kept having the chance for a long run, so I just kept saving tires, and found myself fortunate enough to be kind of save my tires a little bit more than Calvin there at the end. He was having trouble getting by David, and I was able to get a run up under him, and once I was able to get by him, just kind of pushed David away from him, and they were just too close to try to. I didn't want to fight it out with David and take a chance of one of us or both of us losing it, and having those guys be right up on us. So I was real happy just running, pushing my teammate to the win there.
Yeah, absolutely understandable. One of the things that we were talking about in broadcast is the length of tonight's race. I mean, it's, we talk about the Coca-Cola 600 in the real life NASCAR, but this is definitely one of the longer races that we've had in the season. And can you just speak real quick about kind of mentally, physically? We talked about kind of jokingly, but really talking about there's some physical drain here, mental drain in a race this long.
Yeah, I really love these long races that we do, and I don't know if maybe that's why we had the long green flag runs. People were realizing that we had to go 200 laps, which is a lot of laps here, and it definitely takes a toll on you. A couple times I almost creamed the wall on the dog leg on the front stretch because I was, kind of lost my attention span there for a second, and but just stuff like that, you find yourself getting lackadaisical and you're just kind of cruising along like that, and it can definitely take a toll on you. But once we knew when we had our last pit stop there, unless they had another caution, you're all up on it and you're very concentrated, and because you're getting to the end there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations on that second place finish. Real quick, you want to say, give a shout out to anybody, or you good?
To give a shout out to my teammate David Howard for getting his first win in the series. That's awesome. I know he's been a long time coming. He's been running too good to not get one eventually. So that's awesome that he can finish out this season like that. And Tim and Will, we're just new to this series, and we're getting together, and it's starting to show here at the races now. So I'm looking forward to next season, and thanks for having me here. It's been a great season.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the team finish, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
And he is the point leader. He is the point leader.
I guess I am the first season champion. I don't know how that works, but
yeah, I think you are. We'll definitely have that crown for you. Maybe a trophy or at least a logo at some point.
Now, if that would just give me an advance ticket right straight to the final race for the championship, I'd be really happy.
No, sir. You'll have to race your way, but I think you'll be in a good position with three wins so far. So you'll have no problem.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Yep. All right, let's bring down our third place. Calvin Allison, Hooligan Racing, third place. Looks like just fighting the tire, fall off there. Wasn't able to challenge for that second or first place victory, but you were all over the place all race, man. Tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, it was a good race all around for me.
Yeah, the 964 kept you busy towards the end of the race there. I think he really wanted to get around you to get that third place finish. He had some fast laps and found his car up there towards the front or in the very beginning of the race. But we seen you kind of step it up a notch there in after that last pit stop. So I mean, was that the strategy? Just try to get up front quick and stay up there, or did it just not work out for you?
Well, all the guys challenged me. First of all, is the only reason I dropped back that far. They said since I was in the head of the drivers, I needed to come back there with some of them. So that one pit stop, I come down by myself. I told them I was back here. I'd see them again, and on that last run, I just burnt my tires up too fast getting back to the front. So David did a good job, though. He's consistent that last, I think, 31 lap run, and he deserved to win tonight.
Any comments on your paint scheme?
Oh, the Trump man, he called me and said, Calvin, I need you to get the word out on NAVSCAR. And I said, I'd be honored, sir. As much as you're going to do for this great country in about 6 or 7 months, I'd be honored to put you on my car. So if he's representing the hooligans, I'm representing him.
America.
That's right.
All right, well, congratulations on the third place. You're still locked into the chase, of course, being the #1 race winner, I believe, in the league, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it was a long one here tonight. It's good that we got it into the books. I thought overall it was a great race. We did see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cautions, but none of them were really all that eventful, and it was a long race to begin with. So I enjoyed calling this one, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about it at the very beginning of the race. This Charlotte brings out some great racing, and I think we've seen it tonight. We definitely see some different strategy being played. out. Some worked, some didn't. And you know, we're going to have a mix-up in the points. We're definitely going to see the results of this race play an impact on the points race. So hopefully we'll be back in a couple weeks, and we'll be ready to go with some new sponsors, new tracks, and maybe even some new drivers. I don't know.
Yeah, man, I think it's exciting stuff. I want to remind our viewers and everybody watching, check out our website, NAVSCAR.com. Check out our Facebook page. We will have updated standings for that first season, as well as tonight's. Hopefully we'll have the driver cars from tonight, so if you have any comments or you want to vote for your favorite paint scheme from tonight's race, just hit us up on Facebook, and we'll have a little vote for the best paint, which we will award here on the weekend. Again, first race of the Dash for Cash is in the books. We'll have the updated standings for that as well. For Mike Fair, Jamie Christensen, and Dustin Phillips, and all the rest of the NAVSCAR admin team, we thank you for watching, and we'll see you in a couple weeks, I believe, at Pocono.